ABC News, American ABC News.
How you doing, all right?
Good, thanks. Let me ask you, how important to you is support from the US?
How important to me is support from the US?
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. Are you a journalist?
Of course.
Do you think I should be detained under terrorism legislation if there's no suspicion of a crime? Do you think they should have access to? Do you think they should have access to what's in my phone as a journalist? What's your answer? You're a journalist.
I would not want a journalist to have the state have access to their phone.
So you support me today?
Not necessarily.
Why don't you support me today then? I'm a journalist, and they detain me under terrorism legislation to get access to my mobile phone to see who I talk to and what my source of information are. So you just said you wouldn't support that.
Hi guys, doing this is SaharTV, and again we have Tommy Robinson being blamed and being scapegoated, and you know right now he's a terrorist apparently. So in this video we will see his comments to these allegations, and of course a small short debate with an ABC reporter. Let's watch.
We've just left a morning in court. Can you tell everyone what's going on?
The police have given evidence. Their evidence was a shambles. They say that because the process is they're supposed to question you first before they make the decision to then detain you under terrorism legislation, and it took him 34 seconds on camera. I hand my passport in and then he detains me. So in 34 seconds, and when they asked what questions did you ask him, because he says I acted suspiciously, he just asked me where I was going. And even then when he asked me where I was going, I told him where I was going, and if they check my travel records, I've travelled there at least twice a month, every month for the last year, because it's actually that's where I've been staying for the last year. So there's nothing suspicious about it. But he said he recognised me as I was coming up in my car. I was detained because I'm Tommy Robinson, nothing else. And then they abused their powers with terrorism legislation because they wanted access to my phone for their own intelligence. That's basically what's gone on.
So in 34 seconds, he decided that you are going to be detained.
Going to be detained because of preparation and acts and instigation of terrorism acts, which is just insane. Yeah? And then when questioned, but then he says in a 40-minute period, then when I was held, before I was taken into the room, they done further checks, further contact partner agencies around the country, and nothing come back. But none of this was in his statement, by the way. He omitted everything from his statement. So nothing he put in his statement. So they didn't say they questioned anyone else, because if they did say they questioned anyone else, which he had to say on oath, it showed that all the other partner agencies, nothing come back that could direct them towards me being a terrorist, because there's nothing that directs them towards me being a terrorist.
Tommy just scares the crap out of them because of his influence. Yeah, he is a private journalist having so much impact over so many people. I saw it with my own eyes at the UTK protest that he held on September 13th. And let me tell you, this man has influence over the people. He's very powerful. He's very persuasive, and they hate it.
So yeah, he had to ask for a break. He looked like he was about to faint.
And you probably can't say this, but I was watching it, and I can. He'd only been in counter-terrorism for 18 months.
And the other officer who was interviewed afterwards had only been in there for 9 months. And to be honest, he looked like he should still be doing his school paper round.
Well, I didn't want to say that, but I did think, are you even of legal age?
Yeah, I know. And that's the man who's making decisions. But he's not the decision maker, is he? I think we're going to get to the decision maker now. Because there's no way that that young kid was the man who made the decision when they held me for a further 40 minutes. And then there was an hour and a half, another period, where they said what was going on, and they were contacting superiors. So they've gone all the way to the top with this. When they've detained me originally, before questioning me under terrorism legislation, it's gone to the top. So it's not him that's making the decision, is it? He's the fool guy today.
But today what we're seeing is, I am Tommy Robinson, they are Tommy Robinson. This is an attack on all of us, because if they can do this to you, they can do it to any of us.
They already have. They've done it to Paul Golden. He's already been prosecuted and convicted under this legislation when they know he's not a terrorist. Yeah, they already have. Some cases don't get as much high profile, unfortunately, but this is an abuse of a totalitarian state against people who speak out against it. So the reason I'm being prosecuted is because I speak out and my journalism embarrasses and humiliates the government. That's it. And I talk about issues that they don't want to accept are in this country, like the big Islamic problem we have.
And you are a proper journalist, unlike those that are working to produce propaganda for the likes of Richard Murdoch, because you can't be controlled.
Let's see what they say today, hey? Let's see what happens today. But the mainstream media, look, this has given them what they wanted anyway. They've linked my name to terrorism for the last 12 months. The headlines are all Tommy Robinson, terrorism charge. Anyone who just reads the media believes I'm involved in terrorism, believes these things. So they've all...
Guys, I met the guy, okay? He's not a terrorist. He's a very nice guy. Humble. I'm not gonna lie, he's humble. He wasn't what I expected to see when I met him, when I did the podcast with him. Very down-to-earth guy. Just wants the truth to get out there. That's all.
Already got what they want. And if I'm acquitted today, I guess there'll be a little 2 lines in their newspapers.
Oh yeah, left page, 2 lines, blink and you miss it.
And they'll make it look like it was a technicality, like they always do.
And how are you feeling? Are you feeling positive about things?
Well, after listening to that, there's no way I can get convicted, but then that doesn't really usually matter. I've sat in cases before where there's no evidence, I prove everything, and I still get found and convicted. So I don't know. Let's hope so.
Well, there's a lot of support for Tommy outside the courtroom, and there's been over 3 million patriots at Unite the Kingdom, so nothing can
I was there!
stop the movement of truth and transparency.
And in this video, we have Tommy Robinson versus ABC and the corrupt mainstream media. Let's take a look.
ABC News, American ABC News.
How you doing, man?
Hi, good, thanks. Let me ask you how important to you is support from the US?
How important to me is support from the US?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Are you a journalist?
Of course.
Do you think I should be detained under terrorism legislation if there's no suspicion of a crime? Do you think they should have access to? Do you think they should have access to what's in my phone as a journalist? What's your answer? You're a journalist.
I would not want a journalist to have the state have access to their phone.
So you support me today?
Not necessarily.
Actually,
I think.
why don't you support me today then? I'm a journalist, and they detain me under terrorism legislation to get access to my mobile phone to see who I talk to and what my sources of information are. So you just said you wouldn't support that.
I'm a journalist.
So do you think that's right?
I'm covering the story.
Okay, so do you think that's right?
I'm just here in the middle, as it were.
But you don't.
You're kind of escaping his question, so why don't you answer? Because you said you don't support it, yet you do support him getting convicted? Weird.
You think it's right?
I'm in the middle.
No, you don't. You come on. You're a journalist. Do you think it's right that under terrorism legislation they detained me as a journalist? You're going to hear it all in court if you actually listen and report what they say in court, under no suspicion of any crime. So there's no crime. Give us your passwords to your phone and let us see every single thing on your phone and download it onto our system. There's no crime. Do you think they should be able to do that? Do you think the state should be able to do that?
I don't think the state.
So thanks, you support me on the not guilty verdict today. You don't want me to lose your job, do you?
If you want to take that, you want to take that. You want to take it.
How important to me is support from the United States?
Yeah, how important
You're
is
the
support
only
from the
country, your people in the United States are the only people fighting for us. Elon Musk, Donald Trump and JD Vance are the only people fighting for our rights in Great Britain. As I just said, you don't agree in what's happening to me as a journalist. Not one of these British journalists is going to report a single thing against me, against what they've done. None of them are going to report a negative word against what they've done. They're going to allow them to detain me today. I might go to prison today for not giving the state access to my sources of information.
Do you go to prison?
Do I think I will? I don't know. The world's watching, so to be honest, I win either way. For my cause, I know what we live under in this country. I know there's no free speech. I know we live under a tyrannical government. We live in a totalitarian state where this place is a weapon of the state. That's where we live. Or should I be tried by a judge or 12 members of my peers? Why am I never tried by 12 members of my peers, ever? Why have I never had my fate decided by 12 members of the British public? Why is it always a state-appointed judge?
That's a good point. Because he doesn't like him, and he represents the establishment, and that's why that's the case.
It's insane. It's insane. So today, this plays out embarrassingly for the state because there was no terrorism offence. I'm not a terrorist. Everyone knows I'm not a terrorist. The police officers' words as they detain me, we know you're not a terrorist, Tommy. So what are you doing this for? You totally abused your powers. Now, the last time I stood here, the last time I was in this court was because I was detained trying to do my job again as a journalist when no one supported me, yeah? Then I was banned from my capital city under bail conditions, unlawful bail conditions, for 6 months. I was arrested a second time on all of this. And when it got to this court, the judge found everything they'd done was unlawful. I didn't get anything.
Do you consider yourself more a journalist than a political campaigner?
I am a journalist, aren't I? I am a journalist. A very good one. Better one than you lot.
They just don't like Tommy Robinson. They don't like him because he's powerful. They don't like him because he's making a change. They don't like him because they know exactly what's going to happen in the next elections. Hopefully, Tommy's going to become Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, or he's going to form a political party and be a substantial part of it, because I have seen his support and it is grand. I have not seen anything like this with my own eyes. The British public loves Tommy Robinson, not what they portray him on the media. So I'm going to wish Tommy good luck with his trial. Hopefully he doesn't get convicted. And even if he does get convicted, you will just see that it will create a lot more angry people who support Tommy Robinson, who will rise up for him. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to Tommy Robinson in the link below. He deserves justice, and we will keep fighting for Tommy as long as we can. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. If you'd like to watch more of my stuff, please check out my channel down below. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that notification button so you can be notified every time I upload new content. If you'd like to support me and the channel financially, you can do that using Buy Me Coffee or Patreon down in the links below. Also, we now have a Discord that you can join down in the link below. And now you can become a YouTube member and enjoy